Hey guys, I'm back with another Boost Box update, so let's get started. So Future Strike is up past $800, so I can't even keep track of these prices anymore. It feels like all these numbers are made up now. But yeah, Future Strike went up $60 at 815. That was pretty much the only big price rise of everything. Otherwise, it seemed like besides Brilliant Stars dropping $45, that was pretty much the only like really big price rise. And so when I looked at that, I was like, is the Sword and Shield craze finally over? Because it has been like quite a few days by now. A lot of the opportunities are already bought up. Like Fusion Strike, it was at like below 400, just below 400, let's say $500. It's up like $300, so that's like over 60%. Brilliant Stars is like at $300. That's up like 125, so that's like up a little less than 50%. Astral Radiance was also around 300. It's up like 25%. I'm talking about before this craze started. Lost Origin is up like $100. It was at like around $400 pretty commonly, and that's like up 25%. And the Silver Tempest is around like 290 to 300, roughly let's say 20% or something. So yeah, we've had an Enchanting Rain. It was around the three. I don't know. It started around like 325, then went to 360. Now it's like 450. So that's like 25%. So all these boxes, when I just did that rough math, I just did that roughly in my head. A lot of the boxes are up around about 25% actually. Um, and a lot of supplies have been bought up. But other than that, like we don't see as crazy price changes. Like seeing Evolving Skies up $200 straight the last 2 days. Future Strike, had a bunch of rises. And yes, it does seem like things have slowed down, but I don't quite think the opportunity is quite gone yet. Um, Especially with the TCG player sale coming up. That's definitely affecting things in the market as well. Like I'm not exactly sure why a lot of money has entered the market recently. I don't know if that was that Logan Paul stream recently, something else. Um, but yeah, I definitely still see opportunity. So I'm gonna go over the slowdowns and also where things are going. So Fusion Strike, it obviously went up. So it sold 4 boxes, and I just look at the price differentials and the buying rate. So buying rate, it doesn't go below like out of the last ever since May 1st. Um, only 3 of the days have sold like 1 box, like 2 boxes or less. Otherwise, like half the days are selling about 3 or 4 boxes. That's good amount of demand, and Fusion Strike has like when I count the number, Fusion Strike only has 24 boxes left, and the price differentials are pretty large. If these 2 boxes are bought at about 815, it goes to $900, and if those 2 boxes are bought, it goes to almost $1,000. At that point, we see our kind of next point of resistance. So, do I think that's gonna happen immediately? I don't know, but like, definitely I see a lot more boxes around 1,000. Like that's like I think like 10 boxes or so, and then the highest it goes to about 1250. Otherwise, we're running out like really out, running really low on Future Strike boxes, and the market is like this really is a correction store period. Like a lot of times, a lot of these prices are just like too high, and yeah, we are gonna overcorrect or like surge past where the price really should be. But no seller who's in the right mind is going to be like, oh, yeah, I think it rose $100. It's a little too much. No one's really sure what the price is gonna be. So everyone's just like accepting the new numbers for now. So it's just not uncommon for these prices to keep going up when it looks like that. I think in contrast, British Stars is not as strong, and I think that's part of the reason why it went down. So like it went up to almost 480, and now it's kind of back to where it was right before that. It was at 420, and now it went from like it dropped like less than $10, and now it dropped another like $45. But Fusion Strike, but Brilliant Stars, you'll see last couple of days, it hasn't had it's only had 2 big spikes in demand. Otherwise, a lot of the demands have been only 1 box a day or 3 boxes a day. Yesterday was only 1 box a day. There was a little more demand building up to that. You see, like the price was pretty steady, and that's where I started noticing. I was like, oh yeah, people were buying the Brilliant Stars way before, but during this price increase, like a lot of the boxes were already bought. Um, and it can go back up to about 450 pretty easily. So I see 2 boxes for 425. Um, And then, but then a lot of these prices are very similar to each other. Like there's 11 boxes at 455, and it goes to 460, 470. So like this is kind of what normally happens when prices get too high. You'll start seeing like um, boxes like flood the market back, and people are willing to sell at the lower prices. And at that point, like the price kind of corrects, stalls, but it could go back to about 450. But definitely, British stars, we are seeing kind of a slowdown. It kind of depends on how hyped the market is. Um, let's see, Astral Radiance up $7, and I think Astral Radiance actually has more of a chance of going up than um, Brilliant Star. So the demand has been more level recently. There's like 14, and even at the low points, it's like 6, 5, and 5. Um, Astral only has 26 boxes left when I counted them. And we'll see over here, there's a big price differential here. Like if these two boxes are sold about, this 407, this is 415, it goes to 465. These three boxes sold, it goes to 500. So, and then after that, like, there's more boxes at 500, but I guess there's 11 boxes around 500. It's 575, but it goes to 500 pretty easily. Whether or not it retraces back, I don't know. But yeah, based on these demand numbers and based on the number of boxes, it can go up quite a bit to 460s or 500s. Lost Origin is up about $5, so nothing too big. I thought a Lost Origin would actually go up more, but the demand for Lost Origin has been kind of strongest out of all the boxes. If not the strongest, one of the strongest. So you see a lot of days of consistent demand over 12 boxes. It's 12 to 15 boxes in this 4-day range. And the last 2 days it's been 8 boxes, and today's already sold 2 boxes. And initially you see like a little bit of resistance. Like it's kind of more because Lost Origin is a newer box and more people have it. But there's 2 boxes here for 510, and then about 2 more or 3 more boxes around like 510, about 515, 520, and then you jump to 560. 2 boxes out there goes to 600. So it does have those jumps similar to Astral Radiance. So we didn't see us in Brilliant Stars, but we saw us in the other 3 boxes. Silver Tempest is up about $9, and it's like one of the boxes that hasn't really had I feel like a really big price increase. To be honest, I guess it's still around the normal range, but I feel like Silver Tempest could go up a little more. And yeah, I think it's also due to the demand thing. Unlike Lost Origin, though, demand has slowed down. So it was pretty consistent at like actually a high number of boxes, 15, 22, and 17, even a lot higher than Lost Origin. Yesterday it was only 5, so it slowed down. And then when I look at the price differentials, I guess though it does remind me of Brilliant Stars, where a lot of the prices are kind of evening out. Like this whole page, the prices are not that different. It goes from 365 to about 378. That's not a big increase, and this is a good amount of boxes. This is 11. That's 15 boxes, so that's quite a bit of resistance. So Silver Tempest might not be moving up like soon, at least not that much. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. The ones I would think are going to go up the most next day are Fusion Strike, Astral Radiance, and Lost Origin, and the Silver Tempest and Brilliant Stars. Like maybe at some point, but they're going to be a little slower. Evolving Skies, I think had pretty much no change. It went up about $2. And Evolving Skies is just so high of a price. With Evolving Skies is that it has very sporadic demand. It's gone up, but like usually most days it doesn't sell more than 3 or 4 boxes, and a lot of days sell 0 or 1 box. Yesterday only sold 1. That's why the price didn't really change. Before it sold 13, and there's this 1 box over here at 1860, and it goes to 1900. And then, but honestly, this is a picture listing, so the actual listed price will actually jump from 1860 all the way to $2,000. So whether or not that's the same, I don't know, but like, definitely if someone buys this box, that is technically, in some ways, at least based on T-Street Player like listed price over here, that is technically $140 increase. But then it goes to NNC games, which I'm in for, so this is kind of a weird sort of situation. There's just so many boxes here that unless NNC games lowers their price, no one sees really any opportunity over here. Everyone's going to try to go back down at this point. This is like preventing Evolving Skies from, this is literally controlling the price of Falling Skies in some ways. Um, it's just a pretty interesting situation. The other booster boxes don't have this effect. Uh, Chilling Rain, yeah. And then all the boxes before this have really slow activity. So I think a lot of the boxes before Falling Skies had like no activity yesterday. So Chilling Rain 0 boxes sold, and so it's pretty much the same place as yesterday. Um, and a lot of these prices are pretty similar. This is like 347 to um, or 447 to 455. That's not really a big range. If we go to the next page, yeah, it'll jump to 500 eventually, but it's like a good number of boxes. So I don't really see it necessarily going up. I still think it's Fusion Strike, Astral Radiance, Lost Origin most likely go up. Battle Styles, um, yeah, it's been getting a little more demand, but yeah, nothing too crazy. And no one's really expecting much from Battle Styles right now. Like it'll go up maybe a little bit. Um, Vivid Voltage, no boxes sold, so stuck around the same place. Darkness Ablaze, no boxes sold. Stuck around the same place. Rebel Clash, no boxes sold. Stuck around the same place. And then Sword and Shield base, I think 1 box sold. And so like this technically could go to a price increase. It's been here before at 450, so it's not gonna be anything new. But yeah, if someone buys this 1 box over here, it goes to 455, and technically it could jump to 500. It's always been in this position actually, where it could jump to 500. It just people don't don't buy the boxes, or people will relist them. So there's usually not enough demand to sustain social base to go to 500 usually, but at some point maybe I don't know. But honestly, a lot of these boxes do have sort of absolute price ceilings where you'll see. I haven't checked in a really long time, so I could be wrong. So I'd have to double check. But last time I checked, like I know a lot of really old boxes, like Steam Siege or something, was still like $200 to $300, and it's like even way older than Sword and Shield base. So age doesn't like with age comes with some sort of limit on the price. To be honest, that's why people do invest in like the best sets because those sets are the ones that go to $1,000. Some boxes are really old and they've never not even really close to breaking 1,000, maybe not even 500. All right. And then I said that with all the Sword and Shield craze, a lot of that will spill over into Scarlet Violet, and um, especially with the TCG player sale coming out. And yeah, people are just debating should I buy now or buy later. Scarlet Violet, you're a little safer buying now or later because a lot of the prices aren't. I feel like they're not gonna explode as much. Or they could. Like it kind of depends on like which box you're talking about. Like Paldea is kind of going up more. But Sword and Shield was definitely the one that people were that was where the opportunity was. And I think people are still waiting for the sale because if prices are slowing down now, you might see even more slowdowns until the sale happens and people are going to try to buy then. Whether that's a good idea or not, I don't really know. So Scarlet Violet base seems a little weaker. Demand went back down to about normal levels. I don't remember exactly how many boxes were until 200. But yeah, there's still quite a few boxes. This is about 5, and then that's 12 boxes until it reaches past 200. Paldea is at a new high of 270. Yeah, really great for Paldea. It's up $16, and when I looked at these boxes before, I was like, yeah, it looks like they could go up a few dollars. So I'm not really sure where the $16 increase came from. Let's see. I'm looking at the sold listings, and it's not really anything too remarkable. I see a bunch of 250s. I see a 255, and then yeah, I guess I stopped checking yesterday around 250, and then probably right after that went to 255, and then 260, 265, and then there's some cheaper ones. It goes to 270. I feel like people just bought out a lot of the cheaper boxes in between, and now we're at 270. And also, maybe people also just move the listings around. It seems like too few boxes to cause this. Like, I know Paldea has been selling a lot the last couple of days, so 21, 13, and 11. But yeah, it doesn't seem we'd had like any major big sale like prices. I think it's a seller and buyer combined kind of thing. But yeah, we do see more runway, like 270 can go to 280 after just 2 boxes. So I'm not really sure how high Paldea will go, but um, it definitely has a good amount of potential to reach 300. Honestly, like it's really not too far if the man keeps picking up, and people do. I don't know. People do want to invest in Scarlet Violet. And Paldea Vault is one of the best boxes to invest in. So because it's one of the best, like because usually if you don't want any risk or a very low amount of risk, you're gonna invest in SV like 1 to 4, so SV base, Paldea, Obsidian, or Paradox. And out of all those, everyone knows Paldea is the best one. Um, and I always think about this like um, if you ever seen like an early booster box market, you'll notice that the prices aren't that high or that different. Like Paldea evolved like sometimes the biggest price differential was like $40 at some point. Like Paldea was like 140 and SV base Paradox like 100. So which one do I buy? But in the long term, that $40 and a lot of times it's like $20 differences becomes like hundreds of dollars. That's why people invest in those other boxes like Fusion Strike or whatever because they have more growth potential. Um, but anyway, moving on. So Obsidian, I still see a lot of other boxes. They're just possibly could go up a few dollars. So Obsidian already went up a few dollars. It went up $2. It's at a new high of 223. And let's see. Yeah, I think there's only one box at 223, and then it goes to like 225 pretty quickly. So that's Obsidian's potential price increase. Paradox is still at 202 or 203, and only 4 boxes sold yesterday after there was more demand at like 14 and 16 per day. But honestly, it could go to 210 pretty easily. Like there's not a ton of boxes here in between. Like this already goes to 205, and then this is like I think 209 or something, and then 213. So yeah, Paradox has a good runway to go up like at least like some dollars. Temporal is like still selling okay at like 12, 14, and 8. There's still quite a few boxes by Aurora cards at under 200. Although after that, honestly, if Aurora card took down this thing, Temporal could finally go past 200. It's like 202, 204, something like that. Twilights, I think it could go up like a few dollars. So I see 8 and 9 boxes sold. All these are about 227, 228. And then that was like 3 boxes. This is another 2. And then this is like 229. So that's like about $1 difference. And then some more boxes goes to 230. But it could go up like maybe $1 or so. And Stellar's been getting a lot more attention lately. I'm not sure why. I know Stellar has always had weird attention from people, honestly. It's not really the best in the world. I know people want to open the Squirtle and the Bulbasaur. But yeah, it's not price wise. It's not really that much cheaper, that much more expensive than some other boxes. So it's just a little confusing. But yeah, there's been more demand for Stellar, and it could go up like a few dollars too. This is at 207. This is like 208, 209. So nothing too crazy, but people are buying quite a bit of it. And surging is down to 35. Usually it doesn't hit this range. It does look a little scary for surging because a lot of people are selling around this price. Usually surging always bounces back, and usually what I see is that demand spikes around the time when it drops. And yeah, I do see yesterday 19 is higher than where it was before. So usually people will buy it all out once it drops. So it'll be interesting if surging does go down in this period, like more permanently. I don't know how to say it, but like more long term. But usually it always does reverse back. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.